Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Gold Panning Live, episode number 227, where if you can't tell from the title, we're going to be going through some Paydirt. So, what's the exact name of it? The American Patriot Paydirt. That's what we're going to be going through today. Let me catch up on chat, open up chat so I can say hi to everybody. We'll start going through. John Gear, welcome to the show and thank you. I actually gave my prize that I won back to Carson since he put the show on. I figured he should win something, so I had Wrench forward it to him. So he's gonna have a nice bag of Paydirt to pan out for all his efforts. Stephen LeBlanc, how's it going? Those left behind, Gold Baron Paydirt, thank you both for being here and being mods. Gold Baron Paydirt, thank you for all your hard work to be a mod. John Toms, how's it going? Brian, Dragos Kazul, what's up, Josh? Thank you both for being here, along with HD Shovelhead and being mods. I appreciate it. Aaron Mack, how's it going? Who else we got here? Dina, how are you? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. S Rep. Ayod, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. John Langingham, how's it going? Kristen. Oh, I'm glad y'all are here. I'm sure you are busy. No worries, Gold Putts. I wish I could do my shows while I was on a treadmill or something. That'd make me so I wouldn't make it worth it when I gorge after these shows and eat. Who else? Wisconsin Prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Appreciate everyone that's here. So yeah, so we're gonna be going through Gold Baron Paydirt's brand new Paydirt today. Just went live today. He did let me spend my hard-earned money to buy a bag before so I could do this show. Thank you very much for that, Gold Baron. Here, let me pop out chat. There we go. If I can get back to my OBS. There we go. Live chat. Wogger, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Alan, brother, how are you, man? Thank you very much. Way too kind of you. I appreciate that way too much. So yeah, originally we were going to be doing a actually Gold Putt show. Today originally was going to be a Gold Putts live show, but that has been moved to next month. So because I have, if anyone hasn't noticed, just to plug two sellers in the same show, I have a big butt, you might say, Paydirt bag from Gold Putts, and inside of that will be the following month's gold guessing nugget, which was so it was supposed to be today, so you would have a chance to see the nugget before. So I had to swap around some nuggets. I had to pick something else to choose for next month's battle, but I think I found a nugget. But new Paydirt just launching, or new bag of Paydirt launching today. I figured, why not? It's, I know Gold Baron's been working on this for a while. He told me about it a while ago, so I know, honored Joseph Davenport. I figured, why not? I can move stuff around for a month, so it's pretty good. It was looping and looping, but not loading the ad. Oh, advertising purgatory. Oh no, I was in one of those before. So, it's not even supposed to be running ads. So, the worst part is YouTube's making all the money off of those. I'm not even getting my big fat check from them for $25, a month. But yeah, so today we're going to be panning out the American Patriot. I mean, really good story on it. I liked reading the story on it, and you don't have to solve anything. There's no puzzles involved with this latest entry from Gold Baron Paydirt. So this one's just simple. You buy it, you pan it out. Yeah. And what is it? So I forgot I should mention this. I should have made something for Nightbot to post it. But in remembrance of Joseph's sacrifice, $10 from every bag sold will be donated to the Folds of Honor Foundation, an organization that provides educational scholarships to the spouses and children of fallen and disabled American service members. That's pretty cool. I always like that. A lot of you probably won't remember. Some of you will. Tom from Tom's Gold Dirt, he was very famous for always selling Paydirt and big portion of it going to different military charities. So, I do like that. I don't mind. I did complain a little bit when I had to pull out my credit card to buy a $170 bag of Paydirt, but, good cause. I won't begrudge the extra $10. Adventure prospecting, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. No worries. No worries. Andy, how's it going? Refotris, how's it going? Man, you sure do ride your horses a lot, Refotris. It must be a sweet, sweet life to be riding horses every Tuesday. Oh, man. But if you can do it, brother. If it makes you happy, do it. Virgin McCarthy, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. So gold has been going down some, which is really, really crazy. I mean, I'm absolutely flummoxed with gold and what it's doing. And, while I understood kind of that it was a little crazy that it rose so fast and so much, the fact that it's still not rising is what just amazes me. So, it is. What is current? Current gold spot. I know I looked at it earlier today, but this morning when I did my daily ROI chart for my Patreon members, but yeah, it hasn't really done anything since then. So yeah, 45.90 still. But what you gonna do? So, oh, the gold on my shelf just lost about $20. So I just lost a good $20-$30 this week. But I don't understand it. I guess I'm not rich enough to understand why gold is going down as opposed to up when we're at war and countries are leaving OPEC and everything else. But Strait of Hormuz is closed and all those things that should make a stable thing like gold go up is making it go down. So who knows? Imagination to form, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Buy the dip. I mean, luckily for me, I can't afford to buy a lot, but it does make it a lot harder to do Paydirt reviews, because I order my Paydirt, usually far in advance, like 2 months in advance. So, you get a secret shopper to buy something for $170. You hate to see that the day you review it, it's $150 because you lost 20 more bucks doing the review. So, one rich white guy knows why. Well, a couple rich white guys, that are just, it's a free for all right now for billionaires. So, Jason, how's it going? Old School Wrench, Andrew, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show, everybody. But yeah, it's just a free for all over this world. If you're a billionaire and you've got maybe a couple millionaire friends, you're gonna hook up. It's just unbelievable. So, Whiskey Lover, how's it going? Grateful American, how are we? All we can do is keep on chugging along and keep paying them taxes. So, you could if the price was more reasonable. Yeah, it doesn't affect me too much. I would cry heavily if gold dropped in half to like $75 a gram. But after a couple weeks of heavy crying, I'd be over it, and it'd just be, it is what it is. It wouldn't matter. It's just, it's the same as my house. My house could all of a sudden, the housing market could crash tomorrow. My house could be worth half as much as, I paid for it. And, same thing. My car, every day, my car gets worth less and less. And every day I think I need to fix something more and more on my car. It's just the way things are. So, Uh, no worries, Aaron. Aaron, email me. What I'll do is we'll figure something out. Email me later to remind me because I'm like my cheese is slid off my cracker, so I'm not as I don't remember as good as I used to. But I'll pay to have it shipped to me. We'll just take it out of what I'm supposed to send you. I'll send you a shipping label. You can just print it up, slap it on the box, and ship it to me, and then I'll pay you. So time to stock up if it gets to 75. Yeah, if it dropped to 75, I said that in my daily ROI chart, I think the day before yesterday. I was trying to, because anytime I mention something in that list, I don't know what billionaire is following me on my daily ROI chart that, if I say, oh, gold's going up, it goes down. If I say gold's going down, it goes up. So it's the exact opposite of what I say every day. So I said, yeah, gold's going to, it's going to go up a little bit, and then everyone's going to sell, then it's going to drop down to 75 so we can all buy again. I admit to being afraid of getting burned on cost right now. Yeah, I mean, it's the one thing. Like I said, I buy, like I said, tonight's show, $170 for this bag of Paydirt. If gold drops to 75 tomorrow, I just lost $100 to do a Tuesday show. With ads that only Google makes money off of. So. Based on lower sales in this week. Oh, yeah. Yeah. April is a horrible month for owning anything and getting money. It's just, what are the months? And so April is March and April are supposed to be bad. And then, what is it? No, so March is supposed to be bad because everyone's anticipating their taxes, owing on taxes. And then late April and then early May are supposed to be busy because people that did get tax returns start blowing it all. And then right when school starts, I guess that's like August, beginning of September, something like that. Those are supposed to be bad too, August and September, because those are the months where everyone has to, start buying school supplies. So, yeah. Well, now, see, the funny thing is, I mean, it's funny. Like, I remember joking with someone a few years back, like 10 years ago about Nancy Pelosi, and when the first time when people started talking about how they just needed to follow her. But now, sadly, Nancy Pelosi is just getting buried by everybody else. It's, everyone else has realized that, if you tweet something or you say something, I think, I think Elon Musk, I know some people like Elon Musk. I'm not a fan of his. Most people that know me know I do not like Elon Musk. I think he's a crook. And I don't like crooks, no matter who you are. Even if you're smart enough to buy up a electric car company and steal it from the owners, But Elon Musk, when he did what he did to whatever that little bit of a Bitcoin was, Doge, when he fleeced the Doge community for billions of dollars, that was showing everyone that all you had to do was make a tweet if you're rich enough and do something and just, manipulate markets. So, what you gonna do? Kakiro, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Mentally Corrupted, how's it going? 147.58. Yeah. Wisconsin, September. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, I know some places late August or September, but yeah, when school starts, it's always bad. I'm not a crook. How about a Miller prospecting meme coin? Now, I will tell you, so right after Elon Musk did that, you go down these rabbit holes, especially when you're old and, you can't sleep well, you'll open up your phone late at night and start reading stuff. Right after he did that, and they started making tons, like a lot of people, like the, Hak Tui girl started fleecing people with her coin, and all kinds of people just started, making billions of dollars off of meme coins. I looked up, and it was funny. I remember I read a story about a kid in England who asked his mom, he wanted something. It was a very expensive, like VR set, like $5,000 VR set. It was, I guess, an Apple's new one or something like that. And his mom told him no, but you can go get a job or find a way to make some extra money to do it. And she said, like 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, whatever, mail comes, she opens it, sees it. And she's like, where did you get in 28 days enough money to buy a $5,000 VR headset and have it shipped to you within a month? And he said, "Oh, I just opened up 2 meme coins and spammed all over TikTok a whole bunch. There's a brand new meme coin and he just shorted everybody. You know, and he just did it small scale, but he was like 16 years old. And it's like, oh, this is just, it's craziness, you know. But what you gonna do? What I do? You just stay stable, buy some Paydirt, pan it out, keep your head down, look at all that shiny stuff, and don't worry about what other people are doing." So that's what we're going to go do. We're going to go try out this brand new Paydirt. And in case you got here late, today we're doing American Patriot Paydirt. This is GoldBaronPaydirt.com's brand new Paydirt, where he's giving $10 back from every purchase to go to the Folds of Honor Foundation, which gives money for scholarships for spouses and children of fallen and disabled American service members. So good cause attached to hopefully some good Paydirt. We're going to find out. It is guaranteed 1 gram of gold. Its cost currently is $170. I looked at it this morning. It was still $170. I'm guessing it's still $170 today or tonight. And I don't remember what the shipping was on it. What is that, like $8, $8.95, $10.95, something like that. I'm sure if Gold Baron here, he will tell you, you know, what the shipping is. But, you know, $180 about, you know, for a 1 gram bag of Paydirt, and $10 of it goes to a good cause. So, as many of you know, the government spends money on stuff we don't need, and it doesn't spend money on stuff we do need. You know, teachers are very low paid. Teachers should be one of the highest paid people in this country. They're one of the lowest paid. Service members, once they're no longer in service, tend to be one of the very forgotten. The vast majority of homeless people and people with mental disabilities are service members. So anything to give back to any service members is always a good cause, you know. $8. Yeah, so $178 shipped you a bag of Paydirt. It's only $168, and you feel a little twinge in your heart knowing that another $10 went somewhere else. So, but let's go open this up. I'm sure everyone's tired of my ugly mug now and my ranting and my raving. That's not about gold. So let's go pan this out, check it out some, and we'll start doing some panning. So, and thank you very much for that, HD. I was running really far behind today, so I didn't get to set up. I forgot Nightbot. So Nightbot, a lot of Nightbot will be shut down tonight. And then today, before we go over there, remember everyone, once we start doing the live show, my mods will start dropping the hidden link. Once that happens, make sure you go leave a comment. There's one of 25 prizes, and I will give you a little heads up. Every one of the prizes tonight is a bag of Paydirt, so you're guaranteed to win a bag of Paydirt tonight. That's awesome, Carson. That's absolutely awesome. 3,500. Hopefully you enjoy your Paydirt you won, brother. Thank you for doing stuff. Awesome cause as well. So now I feel like giving to Mentally Corrupted. Yeah, here you go, Andrew. So yeah, I mean, the military, you know, when you're in the military, they treat you pretty good. You know, maybe not so good when you got the drill sergeant yelling at you, but you know, once you're past that stage, they do treat service members really good in the military. They pay good while you're in there because you get housing and stuff like that. You get to see the world, all these wonderful things. But once you leave, you're kind of forgotten. So, you know. There you go, Gold Baron. So, but all right, let's go check out this Paydirt a little bit closer. I didn't have a Gold Baron t-shirt. The only thing I had was a Gold Baron sweatshirt, and it's starting to get too hot for that. So I had my Motley Crue shirt. So I figured that represents Gold Baron Paydirt enough. So, all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Do some panning. There we go. Check this out. Open up chat again. There we go. Yes, there is a hidden video tonight, Tomcat Josh. And thank you for being here. I didn't say hi to you. Thank you for being here. Nightbot, thank you for being here. So, yes, tonight there will be a hidden link, and tonight there will be one of 25 prizes, and all 25 prizes are Paydirt. So whoever wins tonight's hidden link is guaranteed a bag of Paydirt tonight. So I actually thought I had one, Gold Baron. I was like, oh, let me go grab my show. I was down here setting up, and then I ran upstairs like 10 minutes before the show to grab my coffee, and I was looking, and I was like, okay, I know I have one. I'm like, no. I was like, another moment that Miller Prospecting absolutely forgot everything. You know? Yeah, Nightbot's always here. Even though, and he's behaving himself. He hasn't banned anyone since the first show, so all right. It drives me crazy that on YouTube you can't subscribe to yourself. So like if I open up YouTube, instead of showing me my show, it's showing B&B's show and everybody else's show, Flash in Your Pan show, but it won't show me my show. I gotta actually type it in. Let me subscribe to my own show if I want. Oh, that's awesome. Fishing? That's awesome. It's always good. Yeah. I always find it funny. I see a lot of posts. I always read the prospecting stuff on Reddit. How many times you see somebody posting pictures on there? Oh, I found gold. I found gold. And it's like a pan full of pyrite or just, rocks or something else, All right, YouTube is just not working for me. It just does not want me getting this. It wants me to watch everybody but me. Come on, my show. I want to see my show. My live chat. There we go. All right. All right, let's put some gloves on. Have to ignore the dirty water. I was panning some stuff out yesterday. I had a bag I had dropped and busted, and it's just been sitting in a pan for a while, and I decided yesterday to pan it out. I haven't cleaned up my water in a while. Yeah. But again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you all for everyone for last week that helped out with Carson prospecting thing. And thank you everyone for this week. If you go back, grab a bag of Gold Baron's Paydirt. And I'll show it off a little here as well. Really cool bag. So I like when sellers are doing these new bags. I really like these new bags sellers are coming out with the full print on them. I know they're more expensive. It's one of those things, I know, I do reviews, and I know sometimes I say things like, like I will show you in a second. I complain about this. And I know Gold Baron already told me these are in there. And I do complain about these. I know these only cost the sellers a penny or two, like a nickel at most. But me personally, I would rather get a nickel worth of gold. I know some people would rather have the little vial. They don't want that nickel of gold. But it's kind of a thing where I will say things like that, but then I will tell people buy cool bags like this. Like if everyone knows, they all know I'm absolutely love the Gold Rush Paydirt bags. I love those bags, and half the stuff on my shelf is because I like the bags because I think they have cool bags. So I'm kind of okay if they spend money on a cool bag, but not okay if they put knickknacks inside of that bag. So maybe I should stop complaining in my reviews when they have them in there. Which I don't think I've reviewed anyone that's had any knickknacks for a while. So, all right, let's start panning. I read the description, but it's so long I don't remember what size the gold is supposed to be in. So we're going to pan it slow at first to check it out and see. Oh, thank you for giving me an ad, YouTube. Yeah, sometimes you can get some good deals. Sometimes it's crazy. Like, like my bags I had, it was funny because I use, craft bags. I like the craft bags. It's just me personally, I love craft bags. It's just what I started with, and it's the one I could stick with just because when I first started, you know, all my stamps are hand stamps. I stamp every one of these bags myself, so it's just always been the way I got craft bags. And then I got tired of stamping them, so I got lazy because, all my Patreon members get Tuesday bags, and I was like, well, I wanted to get a stamp this size was going to cost me like 75, 80 bucks. And I was like, well, let me just look to see how much it cost me to get them made. But the problem was once I got them made, I think I got 100 made just to see how they would look. But I think like 50 of that was just getting the artwork done. But the company I got them done wants to charge me 50 bucks again for the same artwork that they already have. So is your RPE sluice ready for me to buy? Sure, sure. The only thing about my RPE sluice, because I'm never going to use it, but and it's signed too. My RPE sluice is signed. Mine isn't open-ended. Remind me after we Tomcat. Remind me after we get back to the ugly cam when you have to look at my face, and I'll show it to you. But I have the closed-ended RPE sluice. I mean, I'm sure you could just cut the end off and use it, but Jeff McKeegan, how's it going? Yeah, you get sued real quick doing that. I thought about that. I was going to do a Patreon one. I was going to do a Trump Patreon Paydirt. Actually, I was going to do both because I was going to do it before the election. I was going to do a Trump and a Biden bag. It was going to kind of be like the bags that you could get from my German buddy, Lucky Lodi. So it was going to be two bags together, just sealed in between. And then it was going to be random. So half the bag would be good. The other half of the bag would be bad. So, it was going to be a 1 gram bag of Paydirt. One would have 3/4, one would have 1/4, something like that. It would just be random. And then everyone could just do their own battles to see which one won. So, but then I figured I'd get sued because even though it'd be on Patreon, somehow or another, some lawyer would find it and sue me and say I made $1 million from it. Well, there we go. First pan getting some gold. Not seeing anything micro, so a little tiny piece of fly poop here that I just picked up. Yeah, websites are constant. So all during the summer, I was helping a buddy of mine build his website, and we built the whole thing during the summer. It was mostly him. Like he was writing all the articles. I was just doing the design stuff and building the back end stuff from his website. And unfortunately now he doesn't like it. So and if anyone's wondering what fly poop means, when it comes to Paydirt, it just means very, very small gold. So Rocky Mountain Prospector, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, Alan, I need you tomorrow, Alan. If you remember, call me tomorrow, Alan, to remind me, or just text me or email me or send me something through Patreon to remind me. I need to ship out your Paydirt and all your stuff sooner than later. I know I have a package coming from you for you from Brewers Prospecting, but as soon as that comes in, I need to send it out because I don't want your package to get too heavy. I need to see, because I think I told you last time, they have a limit on the weight. Like it jumps up. I think it's like 2 pounds or something like that. And it's like 20 bucks under 2 pounds. But then over 2 pounds, it's like 50. This is like a huge jump once you get to that. So I need you to remind me to prepare it and start getting it ready to ship. Weezin, what's up, brother? Thank you for being here and joining the live show. Appreciate it. Curry, how's it going, man? How are you doing today, Steven? Hope you're doing good. Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. Scott Roberts, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show as well. Thank you, everyone that's listening to Weezin and giving me a thumbs up. I always appreciate it. And I'm sure YouTube and its algorithm does something with that, and who knows. And thank you, Alan. Because I keep forgetting it, because it's kind of, I have it all in my room, but it's in my room like off to the side, so I don't see it. And if I don't see it, I won't remember. But I need to like, I'll be making the Paydirts for the Patreon members tomorrow, or maybe I'll do it later tonight. But so I need to make up yours and have it all, you know. I want to make sure I don't go over two, you know, you don't want to be at 2 pounds, 1 ounce and pay $25. I don't want to pay $25 for that. I'm kind of cheap. Yeah. More gold, more gold. Now, again, this is a Gold Baron Paydirt, and it is guaranteed 1 gram of gold. Now, I don't think we're not going to weigh it up at the end of the show. I didn't use a secret shopper. I bought this myself, you know. We talked about it a month ago, about how he was getting it in, and did I want to buy some early? And I said, yeah. I said, I'd definitely get some. I said, you know. So you can go grab a bag over at goldbaronpaydirt.com. It's his newest release, you know. Now, he's not paying me to do this. This is just out of the kindness of my heart. I have no problem. You know, as anyone knows, I will more than gladly promote any good seller. Any seller that's in my top 10, I will gladly promote. I think they deserve it. They earn the respect of the community. I want them to do good. The better top 10 sellers do, the longer they'll stick around in the top 10. And, you know, with gold being crazy, it's very expensive. You want to get the best deal you can, you know. My top 10, while it's not 100% based on the highest ROIs you can get, that is one of the bigger factors. So, you know. You better not have put it. I can eyeball it. I can tell with a good eye. And that's good, Steven. Glad you're doing good, brother. When you get my package for Alan, you should open the first 2 bags and ship the small bubble wrap bag. All right. John Toms, thank you very much. Here, I'm going to write a note of that because I will forget that. Let me write that. All right, got a note for that, so I'll remember that. So I can put that on my pile of Alan stuff. Now I'm gonna have to go hollow out a book. Put all your stuff, Alan, in a book so I can ship it on media mail. All right, let's get some more Paydirt. I was working on my own magnetic black sand separator. I know I still want to try the I mean, I'm gonna have to wait till like later in the year, but I still want to try a roly-poly out one of these days. But since I just gave 2 bad reviews to him, and he designed the switchback for Dream Mat, I don't know if I want. They might think I'm like targeting them or something if it's not a good review. Which, by the way, I've noticed they've pretty much shelved and have not come out with any add-ons, which was one of the big, you know, like, oh, this is what the whole purpose of the switchback is so you can add on other things. You know. Is Wrench here? Is Wrench? Are you just listening in, Wrench? Curious if he got heard anything back about his warped sluice. So. What's up, Bradley? How's it going? Yeah, I have a hard time with, it's hard to, I love panning, and some days I just have a hard time getting down here and panning, even if I have a bag that, I buy specifically not for review, you know, but, because it is time. And it's one thing, we never have enough of anything is. David Hamilton, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that's here tonight. I really do. I always appreciate you all when you pop in. So hopefully you're not getting inundated with ads like I am, or as much as I am. I need to put that on my notes. I need to fire off some emails to YouTube. And it's funny, they just did. They're probably punishing me today because I popped into live show, or my live show manager the other day, and they had a what was it? They had a survey. YouTube, if you're a creator on YouTube, it'll pop up and ask you surveys every once in a while to try to make YouTube better. And it was all about the ads during live show. And they were asking me why I don't put them on there and put them on for automatic. And I said, because, one of the options was it sucks. I put it on there. They didn't phrase it that way. They were kinder than that. But, that was my take on it, was it's not very good and it takes away from the live stream and stuff like that. So now they're punishing me by putting tons of ads. So. Well, nice hike. The weather's still nice, Callie, huh? Got some nice weather. Go take a hike, brother. Not as good as riding a horse, but, what you gonna do? Yeah. Well, you got some lemons. You gotta make some lemonade. Yeah. So, but thank you again, everyone that's here. Now, again, next Tuesday is going to be the Patreon live show. So next week, if you're a Patreon member, make sure I'm not going to be doing any more reminders. So make sure if you're a Patreon member, you get your gold guess in. I'm going to start doing all the calculations tonight, making the Paydirt up tonight, which will look very much like this. They will be the Mighty Minis. So just little bags of Paydirt this month. So, and then if you are a Patreon member, I did hint at it today in the daily ROI. Probably next month, I will probably have a couple bags of Paydirt up for sale. Got a new container I want to try out, so I figured make some Paydirt, see how it is. Not too many of them, though. I'm not going to have too many. It's going to be a very limited run. I don't know if they're going to be full grams or half grams, quarter grams, what they're going to be yet, but we'll have to see. There you go. What is that? I recently got Paydirt from Clash. It was a bag of beginner's Paydirt. It's supposed to have 0.125, got 0.265. That's pretty good. Now, if you could get his 1 gram bag and get 2 grams out of it, it'd be worth buying. But right now, he's charging, what, $220?
for $220 for his 1 gram bag. He's just so, it's been said before by other Paydirt sellers, if Clash sold a better product, he would probably corner the market and be the #1 Paydirt seller right now. I mean, he might be, who knows? He might already be the #1 seller, so maybe that's why he hasn't like changed his pricing to be more competitive. But yeah, $220 for his 1 gram. I only paid $170 for this one. The Gold Baron Paydirt, his brand new bag, American Patriot, $170. For $220, you could get that, and you could get, I guess, his quarter grammer. Both of them shipped, 180, 40. Yeah, probably like that, isn't it? Yeah, so you can get his quarter grammer and his 1 grammer for the same price as buying the Clash bag. So, and this one's a cool bag too, because I know Clash does have some cool bags. I do like his bag design, but I can't get past his bucket. Yeah, he did claim in one of his somewhere, I saw it was either in a comment on his Facebook or one of his videos or something. I did see he did claim somebody bought one. So if somebody bought one of those $50,000 buckets, that is a whale with no common sense. It just gave away 10 grand, And even if he threw in like an extra 2 grand worth of gold, it's still 8 grand. Aren't they? Are they? Yeah, that's right. His quarter grammers are 0 point. His smallest bag, well, his whatever he calls them, the crumb bags. The crumb bags are 0.1 now. They used to be 0.125. No, so his crumb bags are 0.1. So it might have been a crumb bag. His crumb bags used to be 0.125. And then his beginner bags are 0.25. Then he does half gram, 1 gram bags, and a $50,000 bucket. So, I don't know. Maybe Fishing will repost if it was a beginner bag or the crumbs bag. Because if it was a beginner's bag, yeah, it was supposed to have 0.25 in it. If it was the crumbs bag, depending on when he bought it, because it used to be 0.125, or no, it used to be 0.13. That's right, because he had a weird number. I think the crumb used to be 0.13, and then he dropped it just now. He just recently dropped it. He raised the price. See this, if you're my Patreon members, I do a daily ROI chart. If you're not a Patreon member, Monday through Friday, I do daily ROI charts where I show all the Paydirts that are being sold with a guaranteed gold. Who's got the best, who's got the worst. And one of the things I mentioned today in my video was that sellers do devious things to make more money. And Clash did do this where he took his crumb bag, he jumped the price up to $36. It was at 28, I believe. I think it was 28, something like that. I forget the prices. But just for example, it was at $28. He raised it all the way to 36 when gold went up. And then he notified everyone. He sent out an email saying, I'm lowering the price to 32. So you think, oh, he dropped the price $6. But the old shipping used to be $6, and he raised the shipping to like 10 or something like that. So he raised the shipping price a whole bunch, and then he lowered the amount of gold in it. So once you worked it out, the ROI was the exact same. He just moved the gold down, the price down, and then the shipping up a little bit. So you just have to always watch those, and that's why I do these daily ROIs. So if you see a seller and you're like, oh man, this, you can compare them. Like Bering C. Paydirt, that's another one. If you were buying her big bags, like her 2 gram, 3 gram, or 4 gram, she was offering free shipping on them. Now she's charging $25 for shipping. So you think, like, if you looked at her today, you'd say, oh, that's not a bad price. But if you looked at her yesterday, you could have saved $25 yesterday, even though gold has gone down. She's charging you more. Oh, is that what it is, Gold Baron? It might be. I look at everyone's website every single day, but I only look at the price. And the shipping. I need to start checking shipping, because shipping isn't post office raising prices this week or next week or something again. But I need to also start verifying the weights on some of them, like that one, because like the You know, his other bags, they show the weight on the picture. So when I'm scrolling through it, I can see it. But I'll have to start making sure he does sellers like that don't change it. No. Dave has a new Alaskan gold Paydirt bag that he is selling to his wholesale members. His grand bag get there Thursday. Is it Alaskan gold or Alaskan dirt or both? I need to start. You know what's funny is I have a tab open for Circle for Flower Gold Wizards, Jason, and I keep a tab open for the whatever Conmingo site open, but I never look at them because they're just always open on my laptop. I need to just start putting them in my like daily ROI, so when I open the whole tab, they'll open up. They raised them already? All right. Well, that's what I thought. I wasn't sure. So that's why I was trying to look as much as I could today at sellers to make sure their prices weren't going up. I mean, their shipping prices weren't going up. I didn't check everybody, but I checked the ones that I thought, you know, might try and slip one in. So. I think it's Alaskan gold. All right. See, that doesn't, the thing for me that, like me personally, I don't care about the gold. Like, you know, I mean, I like the gold. I like gold. Gold is the number one thing I want out of a bag of Paydirt. But to me, you know, you could mix Alaskan gold, Colorado gold, Florida gold, you know, wherever the gold's from, Australian gold, really, you know, leaf gold, all of it. It's just gold to me. To me, I like the different dirts. It's one of the main things that got me into the hobby. It was just the idea of, you know, one day panning out some Colorado dirt, you know, and because to me, in my mind, it was just always, it's just gold. All gold comes from the earth. You know, it all came from eventually, you know, before that from outer space and meteors or something else. And it's all just, you know, bubbled up. So it's geographic isn't really too different. It's still gold. But it was just always about the area. So it's always a bigger selling point to me. Like I would rather pan out a bag of Alaskan Paydirt if they just say, hey, I don't know where the gold came from. I bought it off of eBay, but the dirt is from Alaska. That's more to me. So then, because, you know, if it's Dave's, and that means it's probably Nevada dirt with Alaskan gold in it. So now, I do know there are people the exact opposite. Like I know when Tommy from Tommy Knockers, he used to keep he used to do a lot of live shows, I believe on YouTube and Facebook a lot for a while. He used to save all of his gold. He used to have a little vial, and he had a little shelf that he put the vials in every time, and he would mark every vial, you know, what kind of gold it was. And he would only do Paydirts or stuff that, you know, a lot of it wasn't Paydirt that you could buy on the web. It'd be like friends and family and stuff like that. Would send them bags. So he knew where the gold was from. So he'd mark it, you know, like, oh, here's X amount of gold from so-and-so. And I just closed. You know. So I know there are people that appreciate the gold. I'm not so much into it, you know. Here, I accidentally closed my YouTube. Yeah, GNS does that too. Yeah, GNS is famous for that. Is he will go out of his way. I mean, the one good thing, you know, he flies a lot, so you know, he flies around, and you know, you fill a suitcase full up of dirt, you know, that'll cover you for a good, you know, couple 100 bags of Paydirt. So, you know, it's easy to do when you fly somewhere and you say, hey, my carry-on's just going to be dirt. I'm going to have 75 pounds of dirt. You know, that'll make me 100, you know, 50 pounds of dirt will make you 8-ounce bags. That'll make you, you know, 100 bags of Paydirt. You know, which is a smart idea. You know, if you're ever traveling somewhere and you're going somewhere and you say, hey, look, I'm going to be in, you know, Alaska for the weekend. Go out to, you know, find the closest little stream and river and pluck out 50 pounds of dirt, you know. Still finding gold every pan, looking good. Hopefully, maybe Gold Baron misspoke and he put more than a half a gram in there. Maybe he put a whole gram in there plus a half a gram. Looking good. That's gonna be a nice little smile. And I will say I do like Roaring Camp. I like Roaring Camp. Still my favorite no guarantee Paydirt is still gonna be Paystreak. Paystreak prospecting. There's two of them. There's one bad one, one's good one. You'll know that good Paystreak prospecting, one of their Paydirts is called like the Gram Slam. I like them. They're one of my favorite no guaranteed Paydirts. They're probably like the only one I would typically buy. So but a lot of places, if you can actually get there, like if you're in North Carolina and you can get to the Carolina Gold store, they have really good Paydirt, just not as good when you have to pay for shipping. You know, same thing. Like, you know, if you don't live too far away from Roaring Camp, like I know Dig Daddy doesn't live too far from them, so for a while he was going there all the time and buying it in person. That saves you that shipping and makes the ROIs better, you know. And thank you for dropping the hidden wheel. Now, again, everyone, if you're new, you haven't heard this earlier, my mods are dropping links for a hidden video. Make sure you go leave a comment on those hidden videos. And at the end of the show, I'll pick one name, and that person will win one of 25 prizes. And tonight's show, all 25 prizes are gold Paydirt. So you're guaranteed to win a bag of Paydirt tonight if I pick your name. So, of course, you do have to be here at the end of the show and say you're here. So make sure you're here at the end. Mr. Meanleaf, how's it going? You can get 3 free bags up to like 50 pounds. Yeah. Yeah, that's typically how, like, any Paydirts I do for, like, you know, I don't sell Paydirt that often. It's always just for my Patreon members. I always try to do special dirts. Like, I save, like, if I do, like, I just did the review on the gnome Paydirts. I saved all that dirt, you know, like any of the gnome Paydirts that I panned out for the review. I actually bought an extra 5 pounds just to save the dirt. Like, I didn't even pan it out. I'm not going to pan it out. Just went in a bucket and here's some gnome dirt. You know, if I do a big bag of Vendetta, I typically sell them, save them. If it's not, you know, Patreon show dirt, if it's not Tuesday tailings, you know, for reviews, I'll save all my Alaskan Paydirts or my Arizona ones until I have a bucket full. You know, I keep a little 1 gallon jug. So. Vintage Fly Guy, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. GNS. That's awesome. Yeah, GNS, I mean, there's a reason why he's my #1 recommended seller. You might get a better ROI from some sellers every once in a while. And, you know, sellers, you know, drop 100% ROIs. They drop specials, things like that. But he's been in business for a very, very long time. You know, he's one of the older ones that's consistently given good ROIs. You know, see, he's been #1 for a reason. Good customer service. You know, he's also now done a few big giveaways. You know, 1 ounce nugget giveaways, things like that. So, you know, he's done some really big giveaways. He's all around good guy. So there's a reason he's my #1 recommended seller, you know, but I do recommend top 10 because, you know, I don't think everyone should just stick to one Paydirt seller all the time. You know, it's good to move around a little bit and try out different dirts every once in a while and different sellers. You know. Andrew. I had someone asking that on Reddit the other day. I posted a reply to somebody on Reddit about Paydirt. And they were like, "Oh, do you know anyone that does a first timer discount?" And I said, if they could give you a discount, then it's not very good Paydirt. I'm like, if you spend $100 and they're like, "Oh yeah, I can give you $10 off," then that means they probably only have $50 worth of gold in it. So then you're getting $60. You're getting $50 worth of gold for 90, when you could just go to a good seller that doesn't have the discount and get $90 worth of gold for 100. It's just like, no. If somebody's willing to give you a discount, usually it's, you're going to get less gold. So, sorry to hear that. Well, old school. My mornings are always rough just because I'm sore in the mornings and it's hard getting going. I'm old and it just gets harder every single morning to get up and get some go in me. And especially Tuesdays. Tuesdays, I will say, are probably my hardest day just because I can only have one coffee and I have to save it for my live show. So I don't get my coffee in the morning. So when I do get up, I just drag all day long. So that's a good one, Putz. Well, there you go, vintage. That's not too bad. And heck, if it's right outside your house, that's always even better. Jeffrey Button, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. And again, I appreciate everyone being here. More gold. Yeah. So, like, I'm sure, it's the same thing. Like, if you see the ones, you always see the ads, like, on eBay, there's a lot of them, and, made famous by Golden Nugget sale, not Golden Nugget sales, by Golden Paydirt is, oh, buy one bag, get one bag free. If you went to a dealership and they told you, "Hey, look, I'm going to sell you this $50,000 car, but if you buy one, I'm going to give you a second car for free." That's a junky car. You can be like, you can't complain when you're like, "Why does it only come with two wheels?" Well, the other two wheels are on the other car. It's not a 8-cylinder car, it's a 1-cylinder. Each car has one cylinder, Alaskan Assassin, how's it going? I had to spend the money. I had to get another mount tire. Yeah. That's the way it always is. My car has been making noises ever since winter time. Like, I know one of the heat shields is coming off, and I looked underneath there, but unfortunately, the heat shield itself broke, so I can't just put a new bolt in, and the bolt didn't come loose. So that's been rattling. Now I got a new rattle in my underneath my in my engine bay. Every time I put it in gear, especially in reverse, I know something's going on in the transmission, but I'm like, it's just gonna have to blow, baby. Just bring it to the shop as a $200 diagnosis, and it's like, then they'll start pointing out other stuff. Well, you need your brakes, and you need this and this, and they'll give me a long list of stuff, and at the very bottom it'll be like, new, air cabin filter, $100. The G&S California Finest bag with vintage gold. I didn't know. Is it vintage gold? I didn't know that. I have not looked at that bag yet. I reviewed G&S so many times that I have stopped looking at his Paydirts. I mean, I keep up with his Paydirts, but I hadn't looked at. I thought that one was comeback. But I have to look at that one now. Here, let me write that on my notes today too. G&S Cali bag. I might have to get one of those for a Tuesday show then. I mean, I do plan on doing a review on G&S soon. Yeah, I'm keeping. I mean, my car is a 2007, so and it's a Toyota, so it should last me more. I just haven't had time to look underneath the hood and figure it out. And I used to have all kinds of stuff for car repairs at my, when I was married. Then I got divorced, and that stuff stayed there. So, and I just, it's one of those things, like, I don't want to go buy new jack stands. I don't want to go buy a new floor jack, and so I could jack up my car and put it on stands to look at stuff. And I have a grass driveway, so if I need to go in underneath my car, it's gonna be, there's a good chance that Jack's gonna sink and trap me under some mud. which my driveway is mostly mud. So, so I need to, it's one of those things like, oh, go spend $200 on new tools or bring it to the shop for $200 and have them tell me it's going to cost a whole bunch of money. No, I'll probably do that, This summer when it gets super hot, I'll get a bug in me when it's like 120 outside. Maybe I should do it under my car, then I'll regret it. When is a creek drop review? It was supposed to be yesterday. And I shot, there's a two-parter. It's a two-part video. I shot one part last week. And I started editing it Friday, and I was going to shoot the second part, the actual part with the surfactants. And I hated the first video. So I'm trying to figure out how to reshoot the first video because they're kind of like a team. You need one to have the other to explain the surfactant video. I need the first video. But I just absolutely hate the first video. So I need to figure out how to fix it. I need to reshoot it and make it better quality. It's just really low. Looks like, a 3-year-older shot it, and I'm not much smarter than a 3-year-old. Should have better quality on it. So as soon as I figure it out, it'll come out. I have my good buddy John always telling me I had a whole bunch of ugly gold I sent off to be XRF'd, and I'm supposed to be doing a video on that. It was supposed to come out 3 months ago, and just, some videos are just hard to shoot. Paydirt reviews, I've been doing them for 10 years. They're easy to shoot. I know what I'm doing. Equipment reviews, same, it's just a routine. But when I have to do something new, it throws me, and it always, I think it's something new every time, and it's like, oh, now I got to delay it because I thought it's something new, and I think it's something new, and then I shoot it, and it sucks, and I hate it, and I got to redo it, so. Yeah. The one reason I will not be buying a new car in my lifetime is the cost is just incredible. I will say I think that was that Obama? Was that Obama? I think it was Obama, and it probably the thing that, every president does something that, ruins this country. And the one thing that ruined this country was when they did the whole deal where if you pushed, pulled, or dragged any car in, you got, what was it, $5,000 off a brand new car, and they weren't allowed to raise the prices. So they told dealerships, like, you can't raise your price $5,000. The federal government will give you $5,000 for every car you bring in. And that really, really ruined it, because they knew what they were doing was they were taking off all these used cars off the market, because that's what people were doing. People were bringing in, those $5,000, $4,000, $3,000, $2,000 cars off the market and bring them and trading them in. And a lot of people that had money were bringing in, 10 cars and buying 10 new cars and turning around and selling those 10 new cars for $1,000 less and making $4,000 off every single car. And they were just farming and getting rid of all the used cars out of the market. So now, like, if you used to go, like, I'm pretty sure it was Obama, but when you went to used market after that, you weren't buying like you used to be able to buy, like 70s cars, 80s cars, 90s cars, 2000 cars, all really, really good cars, like old Toyotas that, even if they had 100,000 miles on them, you knew they were going to get 250,000 miles off of them. Good, reliable cars, did not have massive amounts of computers in them, so you could fix them yourself, and there was millions of parts. You could go to, hardware store, not hardware, Pep Boys, and get an alternator for $20. You could get, any part for under $100. Now, used market, you're getting Ford Focuses. That's what, which, Ford Focus with 100,000 miles, you'll be lucky if it makes it off the block once you pay for it, And then if you need an alternator for a Ford Focus, it's going to cost you $180, Yeah, the cash for clunkers. I mean, that ruined, because then what happened is, because once they got all the used cars out of the market, that's when dealers raised all their prices. Like once it ended, once that whole $5,000 thing ended, car dealers then raised their prices by 10 and 20,000 because they knew you didn't have an option. if you went like, before that, you could say, hey man, I could have gone on Craigslist, I could have gone on Facebook, wherever I wanted. Just I could have drove 4 or 5 blocks around my neighborhood and found somebody with a car on their lawn saying for sale for $3,000, 2,500. And you knew it was a beater, and you knew you'd have to change the oil every month, or add oil every single week, or it'd blow up. But it was still, you could live with it. It'd get you where you needed to go. You just weren't going to go out of town with it. But once they got rid of that, all the used cars all over the country, then they said, okay, great. Now we can raise our prices, and people have to buy them, or they're going to have to go buy a used Ford, Ford Focus. That's going to cost them more money than a car note will. Hey, Vintage Fly. So tonight we're panning a bag of Gold Baron's newest product. It's the American Patriot bag. It's for his sixth great-grandfather. It's his great-grandfather from 6 generations ago, Joseph Davenport. It's in honor of him dying and serving in the Revolutionary War. And it's a $170 bag of Paydirt, and $10 of that goes in remembrance of Joseph's sacrifice. I'm reading off the bag, by the way. In remembrance of Joseph's sacrifice, $10 from every bag sold will be donated to the Folds of Honor Foundation, an organization that provides educational scholarships to the spouses and children of fallen and disabled American service members. I said before, I normally, might complain about higher price Paydirts. Anything to do with service members, I think is a good cause. It's one thing, the vast majority of people that are homeless or have mental issues are ex people that served in the military. Huge portion of older suicides are military people, things like that. So they desperately need, the federal government, once you work for them in the Army, they take good care of you while you're there. But once you're out, they kind of forget you. So, good cause. And there we go. That is my 1 gram. Now, we're not going to weigh it up or do any of that cool stuff because, I purchased it. Was not a secret shopper, none of that good stuff. Yeah, a vast majority. Probably, I've never done a poll or anything like that, but just through chat, knowing people in the community, the vast majority of people who pan out gold in this community are old service members. I know a lot of people in the past and have spent time and money teaching other service members how to pan gold. I know at times there's all, you'll hear one of the people in the community saying, oh, I'm getting 20 service members, or I'm going to a VA and I'm bringing a whole bunch of bags of Paydirt and we're going to teach them how to pan and stuff like that. So there's a lot of causes that go through every year. Carson Prospecting just did a good raffle for the Wounded Warrior Project, things like that. So, yeah, it's always good to have a good cause attached to a good Paydirt. So, and I like Gold Baron Paydirt. I think he is, what is he, number 3 or 4 on my top 10? I don't even know. Let me look. All right. Yeah, he's number 3. My number 3 recommended seller. It's a good seller. It's been around for a while. Been selling good Paydirts. Doing very complicated puzzles that drove me crazy, but good seller. Yeah, so definitely a nice gram bag of Paydirt. I'm happy with that, and at $10, that's going to a good cause. So, yeah, and it's an easy bag to pan out, But unfortunately, it's way too easy because now y'all going to have to look at my ugly mug for the next 20 minutes. So, let's go do that. All right, give me a second and move everything over.
All right, let's see. Oh, gold price is going up. 148.08. All right, shrink down. Penny cam. There we go. We'll leave that right there for a while. So again, nice bag of Paydirt. Like I said, Gold Baron Paydirt's been my number 3 for a while. He's slowly moved up the ranks. You know, I think when I first put him on there, I think he started at number 8. I think he started at number 8 and he's worked his way all the way to number 3. So, and like I said earlier, my top 3 does have a lot to do with the ROIs, but it also has to do with consistent sellers that, you know, keep good ROIs all the time. Like I would rather have a seller in my top 10 that has a 80% or 85% ROI year round than one that has a 50% one day and an 80% the next and 100% the next. And, you know, this is all over the place. You know, I like consistency because then, you know, someone that's consistently putting work into their Paydirt and their websites and things like that will probably be around for the long haul. So that's what you want. But all right, let's, I'm going to open up chat. There we go. You might know. Well, who's the first 2? Who's the first 2? That's what I want to know. No, because as far as I know, I am the only Paydirt reviewer who uses secret shoppers. So, because I know the big reviewer used to tell people that he did it, and now he doesn't even say it anymore. Now he doesn't even, like, I think the last 4 reviews he's done, he said he actually got it, you know, or somebody sent it to him, which is a huge red flag. I do not review Paydirts that somebody randomly sends me because it's very easy for, you know, the Gold Baron to, you know, have a friend of his mail me a bag of Paydirt and say, hey, I'm a friend, you know, I love your channel. Here's a bag that I just bought, you know, and they could load the bag of Paydirt up. You know, he could put 2 grams in it and I'd be like, oh, wow, look, Gold Baron's new Paydirt, 2 grams. This is awesome. You know, and get a ton of sales for him, you know, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, I got it, you know. Yeah, I never served either, Josh. I was, you know, I was too busy running around being a bad person. So, you know, I probably should have. I know a couple of my friends did, and, you know, a couple of them didn't, you know. All flower gold. It's probably going to be Dream Mat. You know, Dream Mat's probably the best all-purpose mat to get. I mean, unless you want to really start, you know, if you got clay or if you got other things, then you might go to Gold Hog. But Gold Hog is very specific based matting. You know, like you need to know which mat you need. Like if you need the Talon or you need something else. I think the Talon is their all-purpose mat. But then the one thing I don't like about Gold Hog matting, I actually love Gold Hog matting. I think it's better than Dream Mat, is the fact that you have to cut it yourself. You know, like I don't like the fact that you have to buy it by the foot, then cut it yourself, tape it all together, put it in your sluice. Because, you know, I'm 57 years old. The last time I got some Gold Hog matting to cut, I was cutting it for a 6-inch sluice. I had to go and buy a 5-inch sluice so I could fit it in there because I'd cut it so wonky I had to keep recutting it, you know. So, but yeah, all purpose, I would probably get Dream Mat if you're just on a stream. If you don't have clay and you're not going to be pumping in, you know. Well, the RPE isn't a mat, it's a sluice. He didn't ask about a sluice, he asked about a mat, so. Yeah, the cleanup buddy, none of the plastic 3D sluices made by Dream or Prospector's Dream are good for outdoors. You know, none of them. They're not even good for you to put in your car while you drive to the stream and drive back because they're going to warp in your car. Just a kid. So, you know, but for just miner's moss or carpet, no. Miner's moss or carpet are great if it's, you know, if you're somewhere where you're going to have lots of gold. Yeah, but if all you're getting is flower gold, then no, you want Dream Mat. Dream Mat's cheap enough. I mean, it's not, you know, like I said, Dream Mat is a good all-purpose mat for flower gold. If you don't want to be running big old cobbles through it, though, and really damage it and bang it all up and wear it down. But it'll last you and catch you some good gold, you know. But, you know, if you got boulders and things like that, then you probably want to get some Gold Hog so you can, you know, it'll last a lot longer, but, you know.
Well, even then, I mean, it probably, even with ASA, it would still not be the best thing to bring out. I mean, it'd still eventually warp. You know, anything made out of plastic eventually will warp outside. You know, I guarantee you RPE sluice warp when they're outside eventually. I mean, I know I had, what was the other sluice that they have? It's not RPE. It's not an RPA sluice. The Fox, like the Fox sluice, which is a really heavy plastic sluice. The one I have warped within a month of it just being in my house. It warped. So, yeah, that's a good thing. That one of the good things to always do is, you know, if you can strain your material, always strain it. Straining material always helps. Won't knock out other gold, won't do other stuff. I mean, I know like my buddy Brian in Indiana Creek. When Brian would me and he would go out to his river, he just he digs up, puts everything in a bucket, strains it, and then runs the little stuff through his sluice in the river. So, and he'll sit out there all day doing that, shovel into, you dig for a half hour into a bucket, you get tired, then you just sit in your chair and you scoop into your sluice. And when you're done, it's been another half hour, then you get up, dig for a half hour, sit for a half hour and just do that. So New Hampshire for about 20 years, don't miss the snow. Yeah. I like snow. Snow is great, but too much of it, then it's just aggravation. I was watching something the other day. Where was it? Was it Minnesota or New York or somewhere where they just now are cars are just now starting to get from underneath some giant cars. Like the insurance companies had already written off the cars because the snow was so deep that they were just waiting for the cars to, unmelt so they could just drag them off to the junkyard. So. Mm. No, now again, here, let me post it. Make sure Nightbot is going to be dropping the hidden link. Make sure, if you haven't already, you go leave a comment on the video that's right there that says win a chance to spin the wheel and win one of 25 prizes. Go leave a comment on there. And as always, YouTube and its affiliates have nothing to do with this comment. This is giveaway. This is 100% by me, just to give back to everyone who's joined the live show and hanging out and buying a bag of Paydirt maybe from Gold Baron Paydirt, his newest one, the American Patriot. So yeah, Detroit. Yeah, I've seen that before where water mains breaking. You see this water shooting up and just comes down and freezes overnight on something. So, but yeah, we're going to have one of 25 prizes tonight, and every single one of those prizes tonight is a bag of Paydirt. So whoever wins tonight is guaranteed a bag of Paydirt. My silver dime is so pretty. You got a silver dime, or did you get a gold-plated dime? Oh, did you win a silver dime? Yeah. I just bought a silver dime yesterday, but it's a NGC graded. I think it was a 1997 NGC silver dime for my kid's collection. Because my oldest son, that's what year he was born. So I just bought him an NGC coin for his little case of stuff. Because you gotta collect the little cheap stuff for the kids. Hopefully one day it'll be worth more than the like $25 I paid for it. So. If not, if they can only get $5 or $10 out of it, they get $5 or $10, I'll be gone. I won't care. So, but yeah, go leave a comment. And also make sure you go check out Gold Baron's Paydirt. Hopefully I spelled that right. Yeah. No, didn't want to hyperlink it. Oh well. You know what it is. Thank you very much, HD. I forget all the time that you got to have all the stupid HTTP on it. Love your channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. And, I will have a new video out Monday, but next Monday's video will be a boring one. It's just going to be the gold guessing contest, but Monday I will have the new gold guessing contest up next Monday. Next Tuesday, we're going to declare the winners for last month's gold guessing contest.
So you can see if you won. As always, the next Tuesday show, we will have a hidden treasure for everyone that joins. So if you join the live show and just come hang out and see who won my Patreon prizes, you still have a chance to win as well. So, or if you're a Patreon member and you don't win in the gold guessing contest, then you can join the live show and try and win something there as well. So my problem is that if I strain below a quarter inch, lose big garnets and sapphires here. Well, I would just run both. Run the small stuff through one sluice and just check the big stuff for garnets and sapphire. That's the dump it on a table and just search that stuff while the other, you have your kids feed the sluice and, or you feed the sluice. And when you get bored with that and you want to go inside, then you go inside with all the big stuff, dump it on a table and just search for the sapphire. So. Yeah. Like I said earlier in the show, unfortunately, everyone only has so much time. It's the one thing we can't buy more of or figure out a way to get more of. You only have so much time in a day. I've got a list, a to-do list that keeps getting longer and longer. I knock one thing off and 3 things get added. So. The grade of the coin I bought, it was a MS69 it was MX69 because I had bought them a proof 69 last time, I think. Or no, it was just MS. I don't think they have a proof for that year. So, but I typically buy MS69s for my kids. If it's not like super vintage, but nothing. My oldest son is 1997, so any of the coins I buy for him, it's all MS69. If there were Morgans or something, it'd probably be like MS63s that I would stick to. But I don't like paying MS70. The jump from MS69 to MS70 or Proof 69, Proof 70 is just too much of a jump. People want too much money for them. It's absolutely crazy. Unless you can get them in an auction every once in a while. I want them to have the value. And I figure, 90% of the time when somebody passes away and they leave stuff to their kids, they're going to bring it to a pawn shop or somewhere, and they're just going to give them the value of the coin itself. So, why spend an extra $10 on, one grade point when they're not going to get it for it? So, yeah, getting married makes your to-do list much longer. Yeah, that's the vast majority of my to-do list is for the marriage. It's not just the marriage. Like, she's handling a lot of the marriage list stuff, which is good. But we have other stuff, like I've got to fix up my house to either sell or rent. So, I've got 3 months to do that. And it's just a long list of very expensive stuff, and you have to figure out, like, how do I live in a house and do all this renovation? I just went out last week and bought all the new plumbing so I could redo all the old cast iron before I move out. So all the cast iron will be replaced up to the wall. The basement wall and the outside sewer line. That's for future Dylan to tackle if it goes out in the street and gets broken. But yeah, I just bought all the PVC to redo that. So, it's just, you think I'm gonna have to pull the toilets. I'm gonna need new wax rings. I'm gonna need this. I bought a couple extra stuff in case when I pull the toilet and I pull the old cast iron flange out, if the floor gets broken a little bit and I got to replace flooring and stuff like that. So yeah, proofs are almost always high grade anyway. Yeah. Well, even the, it just, to me, is 69 and a 70. There's just the price. Like I was looking at, what was it I was looking at the other day? I was looking at, for one of my kids, I guess it was just a silver American Eagle. I think that's what it was. I think it was a 2008 American Silver Eagle. And for MS 69, it was like $90 to $100, somewhere around that price range, $90 to $100. But then for the MS 70 was like 180, 170, 180. I'm like, I'm not paying double for one grade. Then when they go to sell, they're going to tell them, oh, gold is $60. I'll give you 45 for it. I don't mind, paying a price. I mean, I mostly buy, I only buy graded stuff because very, very smaller chance that it will be fake. Because I'd much rather them go there and get ripped off at a pawn shop and get half price than them go to a pawn shop and be told, oh, all these coins are fake, you know. Yeah. Do you metal detect? No, I don't. I do have a metal detector here, and I keep saying I need to metal detect my yard because, one, I do need to metal detect it because I do need to know the pins before I actually need to write that on my list, my to-do list. Thank you for making me add something to my to-do list, but I do need to find my pins for my yard boundaries before I move. So I do have one, but I don't have one in that price range of the gold bug or the gold bug 2. So I'm the wrong person to ask. I think Dave, who finds a ton of gold, I think he uses the gold bug 2, I think. If I remember right, I think he uses a gold bug 2. An MT Coiner, how's it going? I am Zaxxon, how's it going? Yeah, HD knows a lot about coins. He's got one or two, I think. He knows a little bit about Paydirt, too. I think he's got one or two of those, too, sitting around. So, yeah, so. But, yeah, I live in Indiana. Indiana isn't the best state for metal detecting. You can't really metal detect in public lands, you know. You know, it might be an old Indian burial ground, so you can pretty much only do it on private property. And then, you know, again, they have, you know, laws if you think you found something that might be an Indian relic or something, or, you know, you can get shut down really quickly. So, Hammer Prospecting, how's it going? Do you have any words of wisdom or tips for a beginner trying to sluice flower gold? You have fun, that's all. Don't worry about the gold, just have fun. No. No, HD collects gold Paydirt in a pan. He just stacks it all up in his pan so he can move it around from room to room. I used to be kind of be into cool. Yeah, I used to collect coins. I used to have a huge collection of American Eagles. That was my one thing. Was a long, long time ago. I used to love collecting different grades, just different toners, things like that for American Eagles. Right before I got disabled to open my business, I was trying to open and not become disabled. I sold them all off and started my business and ran that for a couple of years until, you know, it just wasn't going to work. So, but now I'm into gold, and, you know, it's much easier to collect coins for kids because, you know, buying a $20 piece of gold and putting it in there, I'm too tempted with my gold to throw it in a Patreon bag of Paydirt. So, you know, with the coins, I can kind of Outfitter, thank you very much, brother. I kind of like it gives me something to focus on, like a to-do list. Like I have a collection written out, like this is what their collection will look like. So until I get those 100 coins, I'm not going to move them. You know, they have those 100 coins they need to get, and it's not even that many. I think it's like 55 coins, something like that, 56 coins. That's going to be for each of my kids in their collection. And then after that, then maybe, who knows? Then I'll be like, okay, let me sell them off and just buy them each a, you know, a 2-ounce nugget or something like that. You know, who knows? So, but all right, let's go. I'm going to go. We're going to have to get rid of the panning cam, say goodbye. Again, American Patriot bag from Gold Baron Paydirt. So, good. It was a fun bag. Nice, easy bag, too. So, which is good because if you put out something new and you want people to buy it, you want a good, easy bag. So, let's get rid of that. Move the window capture up. Let me make sure I get the link and everything set up. I'll do that. Let's see. Oh, is it raining again? Oh, it's raining again. All right, where is? Oh, I need. Oh, dang it. I need the link. I don't have the link. Go to YouTube Studio. Content. Hidden video. Link. All right, there we go. Gold's back down. Going up and down 30 cents. Come on now. All right, I got the link. So again, make sure if I pull your name, one of the only rule really for my hidden video giveaway is you must be here when I pull the name. So if I pull your name, you must say something in live chat. You guys say like, I'm here, I'm here. If one of the mods want to drop the hidden link one last time. Dang commercials. Yeah, I have it on my list, HD. Figure out how to remove ads or do something else. I do know they've done something else. They keep trying to tell me they're doing like split screen ads. So I need to figure out how to get that. So if they're going to do an ad, it just splits the screen so you still see me and still see chat or something. I don't like these chat overlays. I really don't. Like, I would much rather the ad cover my face and leave chat alone, you know, because as long as you can still hear me, you know, or keep up with chat, I don't know. You know, just paused me, you know, and just continued. I don't know. So, getting sleepy. I've won 2 Miller Gauze. I said 2 of them. Hey, you're pretty good. That's pretty good. I get people complain all the time that John R. complains he never won one. He still hasn't won one. So, I think he might have given up because I haven't seen him enter in a while. So, Curtis, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. I appreciate it. And anyone, if I missed you during this entire show, I appreciate it. If you're just lurking there, I appreciate you being here and lurking. I really do. It means a lot to me. Keeps me, you know, this old man from leaving. So I'm happy with YouTube Red. Yeah. I don't see it. Ads don't bug me because I don't watch really any live shows. I just cannot get it together in my brain to do live shows. I will set alarms for them and then just like, okay, you know, so-and-so's having a show in an hour. I got to make sure I go do all my stuff. And then I will get sidetracked in my little squirrel brain. I'll come back like 3 hours later and be like, oh, I missed the show. So everything I watch on YouTube is always later. And I don't mind the ads because then I know somebody's making a little penny or two off of me watching and waiting to click that skip button. So John, digging in Florida. How's it going? Working like a shadow. There you go. So, all right. Then we're going to shrink down the mug. And again, if I pull your name, you must post something in the live chat. And then we'll see what prize you want. And again, tonight, you get one of 25 prizes. Every single prize is a bag of Paydirt. So, what is the demand for Paydirt that is more about being a natural representation of a specific area versus just gold content? If you mean, so that's kind of a trick question. So for just gold content, if you mean no guarantee, nobody's going to care. Any bag of Paydirt, you know, 90% of the people that buy Paydirt in this community anyway, only buy Paydirt that has a guaranteed set amount of gold. Now, it doesn't have to be a huge amount. It could be a 1/4 gram, 1/8 of a gram, 1/2 gram, 1 gram. But the vast majority of people who also buy Paydirt more than once. So the first time someone buys Paydirt, it might be on a whim. It might be on a lark. It might be like, oh, wow, this would be cool to do. Like me, my first time panning was, I thought it would be a cool thing to do just to try it out. And then I got hooked and I keep buying them. So the first time someone buys Paydirt, they might buy it with no guaranteed ROI or no high ROI. But once people start buying Paydirt and they've bought 3 or 4 bags, the more Paydirt bags somebody buys, the more they want their money back from it, because it is a very expensive hobby these days. With a gram of gold costing $150, a bag of Paydirt costs you about $175. To spend $175, like for me personally, I absolutely love buying Paydirts from different areas. Australia Paydirt is my favorite. I would rather pay $175 for Paydirt from, you know, Joe Blow, Florida, with a guaranteed gram of gold, than $175 for a 1/4 gram of premier hidden depth Alaska, Arizona, Alaskan, you know, desert foxhole Paydirt. You know, where something comes from is a great selling point, but I don't think it adds any intrinsic value to it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, if you have a $175 bag of Paydirt that's from Arizona, you know, and then you have a $175 bag of Paydirt from California, they're both the same to everybody, unless the gold is different. You know, like if one is 1 gram and the other one is 3/4 gram, but it says, oh, it's from, you know, the Lost Mine of California,
they're all going to go to the Arizona Paydirt and say, okay, I'll just pay the extra. I'll pay the same amount. I'd rather have the gold amount. So I love that Florida gold. You'd be amazed. Go on eBay. About 75% of all Paydirt sellers on eBay that sell Paydirt are from Florida. For some reason, they all travel to Alaska, get 5-gallon buckets, and drive them all the way back to Florida to sell that Paydirt. And it used to be really bad. Like when I first started doing this channel, I think 90% of all Paydirt sellers were from Florida. Every single one of them. So, yeah. Unless it's crystallized gold. Yeah. I mean, there are people that pay extra. I mean, you can go on Gold Nugget Sales website, and some people pay, like if you price out his Paydirt, he will have a 1 gram bag for say 175. But then he'll have, like crystalline gold for 190. Some people will pay extra for the gold itself. But not many people. I'm probably one of the only people that buys a lot of Australian Paydirt. And that's just because it's a source. And, I every day I tell myself, oh, don't buy any old moldy Paydirt because I really want to buy a bag of old moldy Paydirt. But, it's like $220 to get a 1 gram bag. So, pour the man right in the head. So, as much as people will say, like, oh, I want to try experience and stuff like that, when it comes to spending their pocketbook, they're just going to go straight to the gram, the ROI. So now if you have like I said, if you have a $175 bag with 1 gram from Florida and $175 from a working mine in Arizona with 1 gram, they're going to pick the Arizona. They're going to say that's a cooler bag, but they don't want to pay just for the dirt. Isn't Golden Paydirt from Florida? No, Golden Paydirt used to be from Southern or Northern Carolina or around that area. But then he moved. So he is in a different area now. That's why if you used to see the old Golden Paydirt from like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, I think, it used to be play sand. Like it used to be really, really play sand, but that's because that's just the area. It wasn't actually play sand. It's just, that's what the River Sands is like, I believe it was North Carolina. And that's where he was. Then he moved. And that's why his Paydirt now looks a lot like better Paydirt. It doesn't look as play sandy. So, but I don't know where he's moved to now. I think it's still somewhere on the east, but maybe Virginia or somewhere like that. I knew for a while, but yeah, but no, not Florida. He's still East Coast somewhere. Miss Independent, how's it going? Oh, sorry to hear about. Yeah, I was so worried. I had someone message me today, worried about asking me how with the storms we've been having, how I fared, because I have the only tree in my whole property is right in front of my house, and it's a giant 120-foot oak tree that leans. That's got that permanent lean to it. So one of these days it will fall over during a big storm. Yesterday wasn't too bad though. So. Refochus. Yeah. That's like I said, the vast majority of eBay people, you'd be amazed. And not even eBay, but a lot of sellers, like I think he's moved, but the seller that is on my banned list, like if you go to my website and scroll all the way to the bottom and it says, like sellers to avoid, that seller used to be in Indiana. He was, I believe, shipping out of Chicago. I think it was Chicago. And I think he moved, but I don't know where. I haven't bought any of his Paydirt in a while to see how bad it is. So. I may get free ship on Vogus Paydirt. Oh, well, we might have to talk about that. I might have to join his Patreon then. Because that's $42. That's the reason that's holding me back, because I can't afford that $42 shipping. So, yeah, tree went down on our pool. Oh, that sucks. Sorry to hear. Yeah, I worry about it all the time. I had to buy, what was it, last year or the year before last? I had to buy a new chainsaw. I just oiled it up yesterday, bought new chains for it. Unfortunately, the chains don't fit, so I got to go buy new chains. But yeah, this is the type of year where we start getting a lot of storms. So I was like, well, I need to check and clean up my chainsaw so when a giant branch collapses and takes out the whole road again, I can just go out there when my neighbors come knock on my door. You're blocking the whole road with your tree. I can just go out there and chop it all up and add it to my pile in my backyard. So. My first bag of Paydirt was from Kenai, Alaska. Was that Kenai Gold?
That's Dill. Dill, the good old guy. So, but all right, let's shrink down the ugly mug. Give away a bag of Paydirt. Again, one of 25 prizes. Let me go make sure. If you're quick enough, you can go scroll up to the chat, find the hidden link, and maybe get a comment in if you haven't already. Make sure all the comments are going through. But again, tonight, we have one of 25 prizes. There we go. And all of them are a bag of Paydirt. So you're guaranteed to win a bag of Paydirt tonight if I pull your name. It's limited to 28 peeps. I got 2 slobber bags in transit. Oh. That's pretty good. I'll definitely have to check them out. Let me see. I didn't even know you had a Patreon. Guess I might have to ditch Vendetta. Still using my dad's still. Yeah. Yeah, I just cleaned up everything. Like last week, went through everything. I actually just bought a new weed whacker because my other one, I dislike that whole slam the weed whackers on the ground to spool out more wire. But I finally bent the pole and it was starting to split. So I sold it for $20 and bought a new one. So no problems, Outfitter. TM, how's it going? Thanks for joining the show too. Anyone else, again, if I missed you. Mega Dog, how's it going? Thank you for joining the show. If I missed anyone, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. If you're lurking, thank you. I appreciate it. And now let's shrink down the ugly mug and give some stuff away. Or give one thing away. I'm going to give away a bag of Paydirt tonight. So we got 25 prizes. And again, the absolute best website on the entire interweb, MillerProspecting.com. My last review, Prospector's Getaway, Nome Beach Sands Paydirt. Before that was a Battle of the Bering Sea Gold Paydirts from Prospector's Dream and Emily Rydell. And then before that was the Switchback Sluice. So, speaking of Dream At. And again, my top 10 recommended sellers: Gold Nugget Sales, Vendetta Prospecting, Gold Baron Paydirt. Number 3, whose Paydirt we went through today. We went through the his brand new product for $170. $8 shipping, the American Patriot bag, guaranteed 1 gram, and $10 of that goes to a charity. So, all right, now we're going to do the random comment picker. We'll pull one name. Once we pull the name and they announce that they're here, we'll go to the wheel and we'll spin the wheel. So, good luck to everybody. Anything goes, no replies, continue. 61 comments. Good luck, everyone. Thank you all for joining the show. Hopefully, everyone will go check out the Gold Baron Paydirt. At least go check it out, even if you don't buy it. Josh Ortiz. Didn't you win last week, Josh? I just sent you something, Josh. It's definitely rigged. No. Let me see. Well, what we're going to do... It's a mod one. Give me 1 second. We're going to pull the wheel again, but we're going to, we'll do a separate wheel because I need to lower the price. There we go. So here, let me get new prizes for after this. So, all right, we're going to pull the wheel one time. Is Josh here? Josh better not have left. I know he was in his garage. Josh better be here. It was a couple weeks ago. All right. So here, we're going to pull. Let me see what prize he won first, and then we're going to refill the wheel, and we'll pull again. So nobody can accuse me of having just my mods win. Now, if a mod wins a second time, then it's rigged. So, all right. Wheel prizes. Here we go. 25 prizes. Which one are you going to win? Here's your chances. 25. Oh, 0.1 gram bag of Gold Baron Paydirt. Let's shuffle it up. We're going to shuffle it up a whole bunch. All right. Well, we're going to shuffle up a couple more times, see which one you win. Let's see, Josh. Which one are you winning? Which one? Which one of these bags are you going to win? Ooh. Oh, you just missed out of that 0.1 gram bag of Paydirt. Instead, you won a 0.1 gram bag of Paydirt, Josh. I will get that out to you tomorrow or the next day, Josh. But all right, we're going to pull one more name, but we're going to put new prizes up. There we go. Didn't want to do that. There we go. All new prizes. There we go. The typical wheel. So there we go. We have the wheel. Oh, get rid of that space. Well, let's pull one more name. So everyone stay here. Don't run off. Pick another winner. Todd Vargo. So Todd, congratulations. Now you just need to post something in the live chat, and then we'll spin the wheel for you as well, so you can win something. Let's see. No. OnlyPans. What's up, MJ? How's it going? Thank you for joining the show. Appreciate it. So here we go. We'll go back to the name. Todd Vargo, where are you? Oh, no. See, this is why you don't leave, chat. You got to stay. I mean, I know I say, oh, it's ugly mug time, and they run away. So, oh, there he is. Todd is here. So, Todd, I will need you to email me your address. You just type in email into chat. It will tell you what my email is. Yeah, I don't run unless being chased. I gave up running in high school. I remember all my friends in high school, we'd be running for the bus or something else because we'd be running late. And I remember that day I said, I'm not running for anything. There's nothing worth running for if my life's not in danger. I'll be late for school. I'll be late coming home, whatever it might be. So, all right, let's pick your prize, Todd. He is here. So here we go. These are all your prizes. I don't feel like reading them all out, but there's Paydirt, there's silver, coins, things like that. Quarter copper rounds, all kinds of stuff. A lot of it was donated, hung out. Some of it's mine, but we're going to shuffle it up and you'll win it. And you could, again, win a bag of Paydirt from Gold Baron. We'll have to see what you win. Here we go. Are you getting a mini keychain Paydirt? So you're getting a keychain Paydirt as well. This is a very small bag of Paydirt. I don't know how much gold's in there, Todd, but it's for the emergency. You just put it on your keychain, and it is German Paydirt. This is Paydirt from the Rhine River in Germany. It's from my buddy Lucky Lodi. So, Todd, you're going to need Lucky Lodi Paydirt. So, 2 Paydirts today. There you go. And congratulations. And now back to the best website on the interweb until y'all are forced to look at my ugly mug. Full screen ugly mug. Here we go. There we go. Yep, there we go. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you joining hanging out with me, Todd. So, and there you go. Dylan at Miller Prospecting. Just email me your address and I'll send it out to you. I'll take the keychain Paydirt. Keychain Paydirt, MJ. So, and it is cool Paydirt. I don't have one down here. I used to have all the prizes down here, but I've kind of put them upstairs because I was always forgetting to bring them up there. But I'll get those both out there. It is a cool prize. It's a little bitty bag of Paydirt. I think he said it's like 3-4 pieces of gold, but it's Paydirt from the Rhine River in Germany. You're never going to be able to pan that out again. Dylan, CRPE. Oh, RPE. Okay, here, hold on. There you go. How many times have you yelled that at me tonight and I did not even remember? I told you to remind me about the RPE sluice. But see, this is the RPE sluice I have, the RPE sluice I have. But at the end of it, see, it's blocked off at the end. It's got a closed end. It is signed somewhere. See, it is signed. So that's the RPE sluice I have. It's RPE model P16201880001 or RP16201880003. So, but it does have an end on it. So it's not really a river sluice. I mean, I'm guessing you could just cut off the end. I mean, just cut it across and bam, you've got a river sluice. I don't remember. I think it was a trade with him or something I got a while back. I mean, I've had it sitting on my shelf for like 2 years, 3 years. And I'm never going to go to stream, and I'm not going to. I was supposed to do a review on it a while back, but I just haven't, you know. All right, Gold Baron. Well, yellow is yellow. That's an RPE sluice I won from you, signed a while ago, like years ago. I had to give it away, moved, and I'm sad about it. Is it? No, I'm almost positive I bought this from him because it's a closed end. I don't know. I'm old. I'm old. Don't remember stuff. But again, next Monday, we'll have a video. It will be the new gold guessing contest. I don't remember what we're guessing on. I totally cannot remember what it is. I'm almost positive it's a nugget this time. I'm almost positive it's a nugget this time. I think it's Thor's hammer nugget. If I'm guessing, remembering right, I think it's Thor's hammer that we're going to be guessing on this month. But then next Tuesday, we will have the gold guessing winners from April announced, and we'll be shipping out some Paydirts, telling you all your stuff and stuff like that. So next Monday, new video, a new gold guessing contest. If you're a Patreon member and you haven't guessed yet, or if you're new and just thinking about joining my Patreon, now's the time to join because you still have a couple days to guess on April's gold guessing contest and maybe have a chance to win some Paydirt with some gold in it. And then next Tuesday, we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff to Patreon members as well as anyone in the live show. So, but no, I don't think it was for me. I don't think it was for me, but it might have been. I don't. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe it was. Yeah, because was it a Christmas one? Because during Christmas, I gave away a whole bunch of sluices one year. Because I remember I did do a Christmas giveaway one year where it was all sluices. So I remember I had a year of sluices. So because I stockpile sluices and I just, like this one, I bought this one. I'm almost positive I bought this one like 2 years ago to review. And I haven't reviewed it yet. And by the time I get around to a lot of these sluices to review, they've changed the model. So you can't even get them anymore. And I don't know the prices and I want to get them, new and stuff like that. So, Rich, what's up, brother? I'm just, because I can only do like one equipment review every 2 months. So that's like 6 reviews a year, and I get more in than that. I'll win them or somebody sends me one, things like that. So, but all right, everybody, I'm going to get out of here. Again, I hope everyone has a blast of a week. Hopefully gold stays stable and doesn't do anything crazy. Hopefully everything stays normal. Oil prices, gas prices, please. Food prices. Hopefully everything stays the same. Until next week when I see everyone again, hopefully everyone finds a lot of gold. With these prices of gold, it's always good to find even a little bit of fly poop because, find a 1/10 of a gram, that's $15 in your pocket. That's a dozen eggs. So, all right, everyone, I will see you all next Tuesday. Don't forget, if you're a Patreon member, to guess on the gold guessing contest. And then I will see you all next Tuesday, and we'll just see who the winners are. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me and watch me pan out some of that brand new Gold Baron Paydirt. Go check him out as well.